All right. Hello. Testing, testing. Time to renovirus it up. Body Paladin 9. What's up? Thank you for now. I'm curious if any other builds will sneak in here. There's definitely some Dense Knives and Pen Shot on the leaderboard, but I think my audio is a bit low. Maybe I'll increase it a little bit. Was this better than ice? I mean, like cold builds require quite a lot of gear. Was it a little too loud for my liking? That might be better. Images, I followed your advice and going for Rogue Barrage. I'm still in the store, but things are going well. Awesome. I feel like I would really enjoy Barrage if I played it, but I have actually yet to play it. You get so much gem fragments in these Nightmare Dungeons. I'm having a lot of fun doing as many Nightmare Dungeons as possible with the War Plan. It's like the most variety in gameplay, but also it's pretty rewarding. And like the fact that you see these chests on the map is like an absolute game changer. Poison, yeah. How do you think DT will compare to other builds for tower? It seems like DT is pretty weak. Like, not like bad, but a few tiers below the poison builds. Unexpectedly so. For those of you who haven't seen yet, we're currently rank 1 temporarily. We'll see if Dragon, who's not rank 2, will beat me, or someone else who's been... maybe they're sleeping but have like a really good setup. I'm assuming at least we'll be tier 130 before the end of the... 2-week period. The question is how much above that. Pen Shot, Dance of Nice combination should, I feel like at 135 or something, it didn't get nerfed that much. This build was extremely hard to put together in terms of gear. I mean, I got lucky with a lot of pieces. But essentially, after this dungeon, I can show my gear. But it's like GA cooldown on both rings, GA cooldown on my gloves. I have GA cooldown on my helm. But you like after playing like 10, 20, 30 hours, like it's not that hard to get. If you start gambling with obols, you can kind of, in tier 12, you get quite a lot of GA items, and cooldown isn't that rare. And there's definitely ways to get this started earlier at the cost of some damage. Like for example, I have no cooldown affixes on my amulet. If I had that, I wouldn't need as many. Wouldn't need as many GAs even. So there's definitely some workarounds to make like a easier setup, I suppose. Like you don't need the GAs, it's just helpful. And we almost have infinite shadow stepping. My shadow step is at... Okay, well now I have a shadowing shrine, so there's that. Yeah, my Shadow Step is normally at 3.27 cooldown. You've done 118 as Death Trap, but no more. Yeah, it seems like around there. Unique spoils. I don't know if I've seen. I'm curious. Hopefully they mean mythic unique spoils in this dungeon. You make your own luck when you play as much as I do? Yeah, for sure. So this character right now has 36 hours played. 3 of those hours was fighting Mephisto in the race. But yeah, around 30 hours played. And I've played like 3 different builds. Since you don't have a build for any chance you could show skill tree and gloss over the paragon tree, etc. for a clip? Yeah, King Weaver, let's do it. It's basically the same for all Ring of Arrows builds, but here we go. So this is the speed farming variant. This is not for pushing, it changes a bit. We have a crushing on the two-hander, Etna's. I transfigured cooldown here, which is pretty epic, but not needed at all. It just makes my shadow stepping more frequent. I have Malice here. I'm basically spamming Concealment pretty often because it has no cooldown in this build, so I can knock down everything. And it also gives me Fortified, which is why we use Crushing. We have Aftermath, which is how we ensure we generate 225 energy. My max energy is 227, which is 75 times 3, because on preparation, 75 times 3 becomes 15-second cooldown. If you look at my Reign of Arrows, it's underneath 15-second cooldown. We have obviously GA cooldown on the ring with GA temper cooldown. We have both rings with the same cooldown there. Imitated imbuement. I'm assuming my clone from Sightless. It says it can cast Rain of Arrows. I don't know how valuable it is. I have a Mythic Seal, but it's not really, like, it's kind of useless. I only use it so that I can slot in this +3 to marksman skill, like charm from a random set. Call it a nameless there. All right, the remaining of the inventory we have conceded because we get a lot of barrier from Care Rune. So I'm running Sand Care, and that's how we take advantage of this. I transfigured the retribution aspect. We have Beastfall boots with GA maximum resource. This is very lucky. If you don't get GA resource on your Beastfalls, you can just run like more maximum resource charms, or roll maximum resource on your amulet, because that can have that as well. Just standard pants. Alchemical advantage on the gloves helps us shadow step way faster as well. This is GA cooldown on the gloves as well, and the maximum resource GA on the chest with masterwork goes up to 40. And we have Pock Lack and Sand Cat. So these are both my rune words are defensive. It just helps to make sure that we don't get one shot by things. And this Shaco is insane. I started off with this build, just a legendary aspect on the helm, but I got a Shaco with, or I crafted this with GA cooldown reduction, and I rolled at the enchanter maximum resource on the helm as well. So the goal is to get 15-second cooldown with 227 energy and enough skill ranks. So 30 skill ranks for me is the breakpoint, depending on how high your aftermath aspect has rolled. Quickly going into the skill tree. Empty first 2 trees. Mobility skills. Defenses from Dark Shroud. We cast it manually. Concealment for Fortify and Knockdown. We have Poison Imbuement and Rain of Arrows here with the Crashing Waves and the cast speed on Lucky Hit and the cooldown. It's hard to get 15-second cooldown without this node here. So that's what we're running. It's very good for speed content. Let me show you a quick Undercity here. So I don't know, maybe we pop this here. Oh yeah, Paragon, I forgot the Paragon. Paragon's basically the same as every poison build. I can show it real quick here. Versatility, cheap shot, fluidity. I'm currently running Dark Dance Macabre as my third board with Bane for the mobility cooldown reduction nodes, because it's hard to meet this strength requirement otherwise if you don't run it early. And this helps keep Shadow Step almost like 0 cooldown. Exploit weakness with Tracker, and finally Canny in Eldritch Bounty. That's pretty much the build. And here, quick showcase in an Undercity. I can kind of just throw a bunch of rain of arrows and then move forward and trust that things are gonna die, because the rain will rain, you know? Boom. That was pretty fast first floor. Let me throw some arrows here and there. Yeah, so we barely ever, we don't run, similar to Death Trap, we don't really run, we just teleport around with Shadow Step, because it has essentially no cooldown. Cover the screen in arrows, pretty satisfying. Is there a Mythic Seal use for this setup? Maybe. My charms are pretty whatever. The main thing I'm getting from charms is just marksman skill ranks. And obviously the sightless set is nice for damage and defenses, but I have a feeling that like the new Mythic Seal might be really good for this build. Here we can create a wall of arrows for the boss spawns. There you have it. Pretty good. Currently rank 1 for pushing, and can do like 60-second pit 100s. So very strong, but very hard to put together. Gear requirements are very high. It's hard to gear, yeah. What do you recommend to start before this one? Anything. Literally any build that you think seems fun. Rogue has a lot of good options. So, yeah, you definitely can use Dioxide's Rain of Arrows guide. It's very similar to this, but his is a cold Rain of Arrows. This is Poison Rain of Arrows. I played cold for a bit. I have it saved in my armory. Maybe we'll play it on this stream a little bit later. But I found it to be a little weaker than Poison. And it basically, it just has so much conditional damage that it was pretty hard to kill things that weren't frozen, of course. Now we gotta kill Lord Seer for my war plan, so you can see some tier 12 bossing with this build as well. It really does everything. But I don't want you to like look at this and feel like you need to play this, because it's not necessarily easy to put together. This is a chase build. It's not a day one build for most people. It's so satisfying, a Lord Seer, how he just kind of walks into the wall of arrows. I've seen dots like in pushing, we were up to like 25 trillion, something like that, so it's up there, but I have a feeling Penshot might push higher at the very top end. Been a bit underwhelmed with Death Trap's down. You could barely do T12 bosses with Death Trap. Fairly decent gear. Yeah, I think everyone was underwhelmed with Death Trap. People definitely, or myself included, expected it to deal a lot more damage than it does. I'm not entirely sure why, or like the missed white missed the mark. It's a little bit confusing, but I'm glad Reign of Arrows is now an option. It wasn't last season, so I mean, I wouldn't mind doing an Infernal Horde. Maybe we could do a Giga Helltide session here, back to back 750s. That sounds fun. All right. Well, my nightmare done. Maybe I have a good key somewhere. Should probably salvage some of these. Let's open a Forgotten Soul. Forgotten Soul. Forgotten Wisdom. You're tempted to go Penshot. You got an insane Mythic Eaglehorn that dropped? Amazing. Yeah, I mean, you should. If you aren't loving the build you're currently on. If you get an early Mythic, it can carry you for a while. Especially a Mythic as impactful as Eaglehorn. Starless Ring is not good at this build. Starless is not very useful for almost any build. The only purpose for Starless these days is just to help with resources. And this build has 0 issues with resources. Alright, let's see how fast we can do a tier 100. Rider's Bless is Desonize and farming a bunch to see where the meta settles. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Yeah, I think Penshot might be the strongest push build for Rogue, yeah. But it's hard to say. I'm assuming like in season 13 we had like a Dance of Knives combo Penshot build. I'm assuming that one is the one that will push the highest again, but who knows? It's like so early, people don't have the gear or Paragon or anything to like... Usually the cold builds will come online once people get the proper gear for them. Wait, this is tower. We're leaving that. We gotta complete a pit. Hello, Matthias. Can Fleur do pit 100 speedruns in 1 or 2 minutes? Yeah, for sure. I'd say you could probably 75 seconds tier 100s with Flurry. Strongest rogue build this season for tower push. Play rapid fire at the moment. Yeah, rapid fire might be up there actually with perfect gear. Rapid fire might be one of the better pushers, but it's really hard to get all the mythics. I wonder if there will be a patch from Blizzard where they change the drop rates or anything. Do a little quick event. Raynars looks fun. Yeah, it is. I mean, we're 70 seconds in, we spawned the boss. It's pretty fast. Let's try to get all my glyphs to like 50 in case I want to play another build. Oh, Infernal Hordes. That would be fun. I haven't really done many of those. Roa is harder to gear than Death Trap. Death Trap is... I don't have a guide for this build. There is a Rain of Arrows guide on Max Rolled where like you can see the breakpoints. I went through, if you... I think on YouTube you can go back, right? On my YouTube stream you can go back in time. I went through the skill tree, Paragon, everything. Like 5-10 minutes ago. So if you go watch that, you can see the build. But essentially, it's just 225 energy, 15-second Rain of Arrows cooldown, with enough aftermath, like multiply aftermath effect by your Rain of Arrows ranks, and that has to be 225 or more. I don't know if that was overwhelming information, but that's how the build works. I'll work on making a guide for this maybe later today, or a planner and everything. For now, I'm just enjoying playing it. Maybe there'll be changes to it, etc. So you can the TLDR is just start collecting a bunch of GA cooldown gear. So you see both my rings are GA cooldown, my gloves are GA cooldown, my helm is GA cooldown, and then also GA maximum resource chest. And we get a huge damage boost from finding like some more mythics. For example, Etna's Dagger would be huge. If the game wants to drop me one of those, I'd be very happy. Is there any increased attack speed breakpoints? Not really. I mean, I don't know if we even have that data. I haven't actually checked. Attack speed mechanics. No, I don't think so. But this build, if you look here on Rain of Arrows, has this node here, cast speed, 50% cast speed, which is 50% attack speed. It gets for free, this poison variant. For cold, you have to run ferocity here, but poison, we can take advantage of this cast speed. And you combine that with alchemical advantage, and we're attacking very quickly. This build is wild, yeah. You're correct. It's funny because it's called Rain of Arrows, and it really does look like it. If you like visually, it's raining arrows. It's thematically on point. Why is Etna's Dagger that good? Because most items just give like 60% more damage. Etna's gives 60% times 60%. Because it's both potency and non-physical damage increase. So essentially, like the non-physical, you can multiply it by the immune potency. Essentially, that's the amount of damage you get. So I mean, this is more than 100. Like this is almost like 200% increased damage. And then if you get a mythic, it's 78 times 78, like increased more like damage. So I mean, that's like 3-4x damage right there. Pit push would be ferocity stack? I don't think so. Like, for my testing, ferocity stacking doesn't work for poison rain of arrows. If you play cold rain of arrows, yes, you would stack ferocity. Later in the stream, I might go back to cold rain of arrows. I just don't have as good gear for that, but I only played that for like 30 minutes yesterday, cold rain of arrows, and I feel like that had more potential because there's like Azurath and like a Signet Pelgane. But basically when I played Cold Rain of Arrows, I kept running into the issue where Azurath didn't work properly. Like on the boss, Azurath didn't proc, and I think it has to do with the fact that I was like using too much concealment to knock things down, and that overwrites the freeze, and then Azurath doesn't do anything. It's pretty sad. Yeah, this is the farming version, but there's not much difference other than some aspects. Like the gear remains the same for pushing and farming, but like for example, there's an aspect called writhing that's really good in extended fights. So for pushing, I put writhing on my two-handed. And so I did 127 in the tower, and that is like without transfigurations. Like I don't have any damage increase from my transfigs. So we could assume that would be a couple tiers. Get some mythics going. 1 or 2 more mythics. Maybe that's a couple more tiers. So I'm assuming this build could probably do 135 with perfect gear or more. Maybe more than that. It's hard to say. Will you make a rapid fire build? Your build at the best for rogue high end push. I mean, I don't think I will make a rapid fire build, but if it turns out that rapid fire is like by far the strongest pusher, if someone gets to that point or like shows that it has potential, then maybe I'll dip my toes in the land of rapid fire. But for now, I don't have any plans to go there. I would just use Dioxide's guide on max roll for rapid fire if I. They have optimized rapid fire quite a lot the last 2 seasons. There's quite a few rogues that have been playing rapid fire, so I trust their choices. Can I show how fast I can move while attacking? Yeah, so I can throw a rain of arrows and then immediately shadow step like this. So rain of arrows is a pretty slow attack. Like it costs a lot of frames to cast it. So I'm not sure in like a tier 100 speed farming scenario. Maybe Death Trap would probably win, just because it has less frames to cast. But I'm not sure if that's true. Someone did a write-up that Azurath is still not working freeze. Yeah, exactly. So for cold builds, you got to be really careful with your sources of crowd control. Like you don't want crowd control on your charms, because that can mess it up. Your clone can mess it up. Basically, you want the only source of crowd control to be freeze from cold imbuement. Kraft is still playing. He was always a rapid fire guy. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him around in season 14. I saw him played a lot of rapid fire in season 13, but Signet fix is working. That's awesome. Death Trap doesn't look this good. Yeah, I guess. It's hilarious if you look at the minimap. Just all the these arrows push the enemies around. It looks like we're on a dance floor, and all the red dots are just like moving around. 4 enemies. They get brought into this world only to be pushed around. Do you have a build guide for Rainiverse? I don't yet. Basically, just collect GA cooldown reduction gear and GA max resource gear. It's pretty gear intensive, this build. Or it's the most gear intensive build, I think, in the entire game. This build right here. But, I mean, I could do it in 10-20 hours, so... If I can do it, you can do it. I kind of love the fact that there are some chase builds, and they're not, like, that much stronger than something like Penshot that doesn't have any gear requirements. It's just, like, a very... I'd say it's, like, perfect balance. Alright, Chaos Wave. Let's see if we can get some goblins. That would be fun with this build. No goblins, but I don't never understand this. And there's another variant of Rain of Arrows, like in the skill tree, the Monsoon. It's like the classic, what Rain of Arrows used to be like in the past. And that one shoots out like multiple waves. There is an argument for playing that, maybe for pushing, that is actually better. But the damage happens over like 8 seconds or something. It's like a really slow... Like you have to wait for the arrows to really come out, and they cover the area for a long time. Sort of like Blizzard on Sorceress. And this variant here, Crashing Waves, just kind of happens immediately. Like the wave just like comes down like this, and it's just done. But if we swap over to this... Like if we do like this one. So you have 1 wave, 2 waves, 3 waves. Yeah, the waves just keep on coming, so the damage is like spread out over a way longer time. But that is a way to play this as well. But I like the quick, instant feeling of Crashing Waves. It's just kind of, the damage just happens. I don't have a guide for, or link or planner for this build just yet. Earlier in the stream, like probably 20 minutes ago from now, I went through the skills, gear, Paragon, everything, and did like some showcase of everything. So on YouTube you can like backtrack the stream and then come back to live after you've seen that. I was doing like a Undercity showcase afterwards, and then I went through my gear and Paragon right before it. But I will make a planner and a guide for this probably in the next 24 hours, so stay tuned for that. For now, you can just watch me play it live as we optimize it and enjoy the fruits of the labor of collecting all the gear. In terms of toughness, it was pretty easy to get like 4 or 5 million with this build, which is pretty comfortable in tier 12 especially, because that was like Deathtrap's issue before. He wasn't really even enjoying Penshot on your rogue, so I was looking for something else with big screen clear. I hear ya. If only it was as easy as to just swap over to Rain of Arrows. But you could definitely farm a lot of the gear for this on another character as well, or even another class. Because GA cooldown reduction and GA maximum resource, they are generic affixes that you can get on any class, so... It's kind of crazy that I can hover my mouse in the corner of my screen and the arrows will spawn there. Like this build has infinite range and like infinite AoE. So like I don't really need to move near like enemies and stuff. Like I can stand. Let's see how far I can. If I click all the way over there. Yeah, like actually, if I had a widescreen monitor, I could cast Rain of Arrows like 2 screens away. Okay, so I think I'm gonna pop the regular council members because I have the war plan node that spawns this like super big chest. With that said, maybe I won't actually pop it. I kind of want to... For some reason, I've been really unlucky with seals. Like, my seal is garbage. It has no useful affix on it whatsoever. It'd be cool if I could get a cooldown seal, and then we will have infinite shadow step. So if I open this, I really recommend you get in the Infernal Hordes. There's this council coffers, a chest of talismans. It's like a new chest that appears in Hordes here. If you're looking for seals or charms, like look at me opening this. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 set charms and 3 unique charms, 4 legendary seals. Yeah, it's just a lot of good stuff in that chest, and it only costs 200. So now I guess I open the 1000 here, see what happens. Death Trap Dream gone. I never had a Death Trap Dream personally. I've been kind of against Death Trap for the past like 5 seasons because it was just too good for too long. But Death Trap is definitely still good. It's probably A tier, similar to most rogue builds, but it's not the strongest thing we have by the looks of it. And in general, I've realized, like, because of Transfiguration, especially if you're playing solo stuff on, like, keep all 1 GA items. Eventually get to a point where, like, oh, I have good pants. I don't need to, like, keep these pants. But through Transfiguration, if I get poison damage or cold damage transfigured, any pants could be better than what I'm wearing right now. So, I mean, I would assume most of you aren't at the point where you're like salvaging even GAs, but I have been salvaging a lot of GA gear that could have potentially been useful. I realized that might have been a mistake. Okay, now we have 2 Greater Helltide Warplan nodes, so we're gonna need a lot of cinders. Kind of folded and made it Whirlwind Barb. You've been farming while we'll still farm specific for this because this looks dope. Nice. I totally get that. Seems like Barb, like it's like turn your brain off and it's just very, very strong. Alright, so we probably want... I'm looking for one of those seasonal, like, portals. Where are they? Oh, there. I always start my Helltide runs with finding one of these portals and then farm up my threat meter. The ability to have infinite range is very handy in Helltides. Stand in these little circles and... Another thing that's really handy with builds like these that have infinite cooldown is like when you jump on the horse, obviously we don't need to be on the horse because we have Shadow Step, but all the cooldown applies to the like the sprinting of the horse. It's very very satisfying. You should never have to slow down with the little stallion. Bro, can we talk about the death chamber from the realm walkers? They give 0 loot. Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious what the first big patch of the season will be. I'm imagining they would do quite a bit with all the seasonal stuff. I think there's a lot they can tweak, like the drop rates of things. For that reason, I'm kind of saving my seasonal caches that you hand in at the board. I'm like collecting more and more because I have a feeling they could potentially buff that to have like higher chance of mythics or something. I'll be ready once the patch comes. So right now I'm trying to collect 750 cinders before the Helltide ends in 10 minutes. Hopefully we can do it. At least, I guess it's not the end of the world if we don't. We'll just open the orange chests at least. Captain, question about Rogue for Defo. Yeah, of course. Project Temmie, ask away. Puts you into seasonal town. Yeah, that's true. It's a bit weird. Alright, where is this orange chest? Up there. Alright, now we get to enjoy our horse. It just won't slow down. I feel like Gandalf on the way. Oh, a little goblin. Don't mind if I do. And scattered prisms are pretty hard to come by. So any goblin is very welcome. What build would you recommend for Rogue fresh max level without any unique? Probably like a poison build. Poison barrage or poison pen shot. I personally would try out, or even poison twisting blades. I would personally go barrage just because I have never played it, and I feel like it would be a lot of fun. I don't even know if there's like any specific guide for starting with poison barrage. That might be hard to put together, but you could, if you're familiar with the game, you could. It sounds like maybe you aren't, but you could put it together yourself. But like by using like the starter pen shot guide and just use barrage instead. That could be the play. Or just follow my pen shots poison starter or twisting blades starter. Alright, what do we have here? So many fine charm slot. Okay, I should go to this side. You know what? I'll farm some more cinders while we're at it. You got any build for it? Yeah, exactly. If you do exclamation mark pen shot, I do have direct links there, but otherwise just on max roll. Any, like on max roll right now for Rogue, you can pick any of them and they're gonna be really strong. You can't go wrong, just do whatever's fun to you. Even Dance of Knives, I forgot to recommend Dance of Knives. That's what most people play. I am personally not a fan of the gameplay, it's just like spinning around holding a button. But a lot of people love Dance of Knives. It's one of the strongest leveling builds and doesn't require much gear at all. So definitely recommend that. But if you want to be ranged, you can be ranged. If you want to be melee, you could do that too. Link build. I don't have a planner for this build. I went through the build earlier in the stream. That's the closest you can get. But basically, it's just GA cooldown everywhere. And GA max resource on as many pieces as possible as well. You want 225 energy. You want 15-second Rain of Arrows cooldown. And you want enough marksman skill ranks so that Rain of Arrows combined with Aftermath aspect on the ring restores 225 energy. There's those 3 breakpoints. When you hit them, you activate this build. But I will say there's probably a way, like this build has the sightless set, which reduces the ultimate cooldown every second when we become like stealth. And so I would say you can probably play this build even without hitting the breakpoints. As long as you have the max resource and Aftermath. The cooldown you can get by. Like the gap in the cooldown reduction, you can solve through just spamming concealment in between each cast. And even you can throw in a smoke grenade to gain even more stealth. Anyone build can kill tier 12 Mephisto? Yeah. I think I have the world's fastest tier 12 Mephisto kill with this build. You want me to show you? I can try kill Mephisto when there's downtime of Helltide in a minute. Alright, is there another Helltide area? There is. If you're new to Rogue, then Dance of Knives or Twisting Blades, probably some of the easier to play builds. Alright, we have 3 minutes to find the orange chest. Too easy. Is this like the Rain of Arrows build from last season? No. Last season was full of bugs and exploits. And Rain of Arrows didn't actually deal any damage. It was just providing a bunch of hits that triggered like an execute bug. But this is... They've actually fixed Beastfall boots so we can run an actual Rain of Arrows build. And it's a lot of fun. There is no guide for what I'm playing right now. I'm discovering it in front of your eyes. Together we will be the explorers of the Rain of Arrows land. We are pioneers right now. There is no public guide for this. At least that I know of. Alright, let's go salvage. In the next 24 hours, I'll publish a build guide and planner for this build. So stay tuned. I'll probably make a video on YouTube and stuff. So make sure you subscribe and you'll get it in your feed probably. All right. we have some cinders left. We'll open the last orange chest and then we can go try Mephisto. Which build best at speed farm? Paragon 180 on Torment 10, Dock or Flurry? I mean, probably Dance of Knives if you don't have the gear. But with perfect gear, I would say, or like really good gear, I would definitely say Flurry. Flurry has a way higher ceiling than it used to. I'm really curious to play Flurry actually. If I can manage to get some more mythics, or when I do, I'll definitely try out the modern day Flurry. Oh, I need some more. Okay, I have 90 seconds to get 30 cinders. How am I supposed to get 30 cinders out here? One minute. Yield Rune. I don't think I've ever seen that so far this season. I mean, it's tight. Maybe this thing. Is there anything here that you drop cinders? Unlucky. We'll open a small chest instead. Okay. Let's see if we can do Mephisto without swapping any gear. So normally for bossing, obviously you want writhing aspect. Okay, maybe I'll go. Okay, let's for science. So I'm pretty sure he will one-shot me if I like get hit by anything, but first phase down. Oh, those things are dangerous usually. Oh, those things are dangerous. Oh, get out of the way. Okay, I don't know what I died to. Okay, we definitely have the damage even without changing any gear. But I'm a little bit on the squishy side. I erased two defensive aspects when I transfigured both my Etnas and my pants, and it removed my life and my resistance. So that's not ideal. Okay. Two faces down. I don't even know if I have a key for this guy. Oh. The third phase, when I did it last time, was ridiculously fast because the hitbox of this third phase is enormous, and Rain of Arrows benefits from basically the bigger the hitbox, the more arrows hit him. Look at this DPS. There he goes. What's my 50 trillion? 60 trillion? 70? Yeah, the dots go pretty crazy. Yeah. Phase 3 is easier in general, but for this build, it's... something happens with the hitbox. Is Roa the best build endgame? Been following your penshot guide? I'm not sure it like if penshot or Roa will push higher. I don't have a good penshot setup personally, but I'm waiting for some. Like if we look at these guys, like maybe 123 here. This Dance of Knives. What about 124? Yeah, so the guy on 124, he's playing penshot, right? So then we can see like how good is his gear. He doesn't have any mythics, first of all. So few tiers there for sure. And what time did he get? 950, so barely 124 with average gear. So we could give him +5 tiers easily with good gear. So penshot probably around 130 something. And my setup that I have right now can probably do 128. Not too difficult. And I mean, I have pretty good gear, but I could definitely get some improvements. So they're basically they both end up around 130-ish, give or take. It's hard to predict. All right, let's do some transfigurations. You ready to brick my character? I don't know actually if maybe I'll do the safe transfigs on some of these pieces because of how rare they are. Maybe I'll try get 75 on these Beastfall boots. I don't know if it actually helps. Gamba stream. Okay, we got 75 on the Beastfall boots. GA maximum resource feels like I should not mess this up. So the question is, do we risk bricking my build, or do we add this Entropic Tuning Prism? Removes the riskiest but also the most powerful outcomes. So I think what I get from doing this is like either quality or there's something else you can get. There's no planner for this build yet. It's it'll be done today. For now, all you can do is enjoy watching the gameplay and collect your GA cooldown reduction items. See, I have GA cooldown reduction on basically all my items. Yeah, I'm gonna play it safe, guys. I know. Just for these boots. We got 3 quality. I guess I deserve that. And then for my chest, for the chest, I don't need to play it safe. We'll just YOLO transfig these. And we don't want it to replace any affixes, please. All right, please, please, please. Let's go. 12 quality, okay. It's not amazing, but it's quite a bit of defenses. All right, what else? I have my rings. I'm not gonna mess with the rings. I could. I changed my aspects very often for pushing or farming, so I think that's it for now. In terms of I want to leave these other items open for changing aspects. Pretty bad outcomes just getting item quality here, but what my max energy went up by a couple. I'm almost that I could remove. I have a charm here with 10 maximum resource. It's almost at the point where I could drop that for more marksman skill ranks. That would be nice. If you lack gold, make sure you sell your legendary seals. 13 million each. We go from 916 to a billion. Pretty good. All right, let's see. Do we have anything useful here? So far, nothing. Is there a poison variant for speed farm, or is it better to just go frost? Sort of a lot of rogue questions per season been sorted last last season. Poison, honestly, the poison is also good for speed farming because it doesn't need much gear. Poison just works. The problem with cold this season is like you don't have any crit chance, so it becomes a bit weaker. And some of the effects you rely on, like Aseroth and Pelgain Ring, like they're good for pushing, but not necessarily regular content. So, all right, we should have a fresh Helltide now. We do. Kevin, the best push build for Rogue is currently this one that you're watching, but someone else might overtake it. Yeah, I like this build more than Penshot, for two reasons. First one is that it's really satisfying to have a build that you have to chase. Like I was collecting gear for like 12 hours straight, just like trying to find each piece of the puzzle. And then eventually I finally got the GA resource on my Beastfall boots, and then it all came together and enabled this build. So it was like just like the satisfaction of putting it together. I love that. And then I also love that this has infinite cooldown, so I can, like, as you can see, I can like dash and shadow step anytime I want, anywhere. I don't rely on movement speed at all for moving around. And the fact that it's literally like you see my second hand is not even on the keyboard. I just like got it on top of my head here. I'm just holding right click. Like Reign of Eris used to be a piano build where you had to click a bunch of buttons to make it work, but I'm just holding down right click, and it's basically like playing a core skill, but it's Reign of Eris that covers the entire screen. So a one button build with infinite mobility, sign me up. I mean, I have to activate Poison Imbuement every 7 seconds or so, but I could do that. Is the Mythic Seal you have mandatory for the build to work? No, not like I wish. My Mythic Seal is absolute garbage, and I only use it because it's 6 charm slots. Like my Mythic, it gives me 0 benefits. The moment I find a legendary seal with 6 charm slots that gives me anything, I will swap. Alright, maybe I'll do some... I'm gonna look for some of these delicious worms. We can maybe get to Paragon 250 or something. We're pretty close. Okay, I have the map open. I'm gonna be a little bit worse at reading chat and answering questions for a few minutes because I want to find these worms. I do apologize, so just enjoy the gameplay for a minute. Should be a worm around here. Perfect. So if you're not aware, like farming these worms is the best experience, both from level 1 to 70, but also in the end game. It gives a ridiculous experience when you have the war plan unlocked. And Maxwell has like a map, a world map of Diablo 4 Sanctuary, and it can show all the possible locations for the worms. So right now I'm like on my second monitor, I'm just looking at the map. I feel like I'm like playing one of those like GeoGuessr games where I have a map of locations that I have to find. It's kind of like a fun little mini game. I don't mind it. Okay. Oh, the boss. Got the first Paragon point. 5 minutes, 1 level. Almost. Where am I? Okay. I'm gonna catch up on chat in a minute. So now my threat meter, these worms only spawn when you have 50% or more of your threat meter, so now mine's back to 0, so it's a good time to read chat and run over there. And how's the defense on the row build? It's pretty darn good. I mean, I'm lacking a little bit, but for example, like both my rune words, I'm running Ket rune for barrier, and I'm running Lack rune for damage reduction. So that by itself is a big boost. And for normal humans, you would run triple defensive aspects. Like I just have an insane Harlequin crest, which is massive. But if you, like before I found that, I just had legendary pants, legendary chest, and helm. And that's a lot of defensive aspects. So you have a lot of DR. It's very easy to get over 5 million toughness on Rain of Arrows. So it is quite tanky. Comparatively to a lot of builds, I'd say it's up there in terms of how tanky it can be whilst still dealing a lot of damage. It's nice to see something refreshing. Nice, yeah. This is this build was not possible last season. They fixed a bug with Beastfall boots that enabled us to play Rain of Arrows builds. Alright. What's up, bikes and zombies? Yeah, Poison Row, that's what it is. That's what is up. I'm trying to convince you to respec. I mean, if you can respec this, I mean, definitely go for it. But it's not as simple as respecing. For the newcomers, you need 225 energy, you need 15-second cooldown on Rain of Arrows. And you need, when you multiply the ranks, so I have 30 times Aftermath aspect. So 30 times 7.5. That needs to be 225 or more to restore enough energy each cast. So you hit those 3 breakpoints, and you're good. Why is there no, like, seasonal portals anywhere? Confused. Guess I'll just go open a chest. Yeah, I will post a planner with the full guide. The easiest, like, I'll create like a starter variant with like the lowest breakpoints possible and the easiest way to put it together. It's not easy, even though I say that. It will just be the easiest way to do it, with the least amount of GAs possible and stuff like that. And I'll also make a pushing variant and then like a speed farming variant where your Shadow Step has no cooldown. I'm very close to that point. My Shadow Step has 3.26 cooldown, and each cast it resets or reduces it by 3. So as you can see, I can Shadow Step almost without any cooldown. So there's those 3 variants will be in the planner that I'll be making after I finish this stream. Can you use Cowl for this rather than Harlequin for the helmet? Yeah, totally. The benefit of Harlequin is that it provides a lot of skill ranks, and skill ranks is what we need to get to the breakpoint. Without Harlequin, you need probably to roll maximum resource on your amulet and get a bunch more marksman skills on your charms. It's pretty important for this build to have marksman skills on everything in your charm, out of all the charms you equip. I have maximum resource GA on both my chest and boots, so that helps me get there as well. And there are, like, using Vex Rune is 3 to all skills, and Vehement Brawler gives 2 to ultimate. So there's many ways to get more ranks to Rain of Arrows, and early on, if you're just putting this build together, leaning into all of those possible solutions can really help to get it online. Alright, we have our threat meter. Mythics are not broken, but they're very rare. Very, very rare. Alright, so I'm back to looking for worms now. I apologize for not looking at chat for a minute or two. Let's see. Supposed to be a worm here, and there was. Maybe something here. Yep. The nice thing about, like, Paragon isn't gonna give me much more damage at this point, but what it will give me is more defenses, and for pushing, it's very easy to die. Things hurt. So getting 250, 260 Paragon will definitely make pushing less painful. Let's see the leaderboard if there's been any change. I'm really curious if maybe there's other people have discovered other builds. Not yet, not yet, no change. Currently, Rain of Arrows still reigns supreme. You see what I did there? Uh, Alright, time to go to the other area, I think. Alright, my threat meter ran out. That means it's time to read chat. DT and Penshot still meta. Death Trap lost a lot of stonks the last 24 hours. People got the build together, and turns out Death Trap is way weaker than we all expected it to be. So Death Trap is still very good, it's just not on top of the world. Yeah, Cowl is probably similar damage output to Harlequin. Like if you get a Mythic Cowl. Maybe it's even more damage. It's hard to say. The benefit of like getting the skill ranks is you not only get marksman skills, but it also buffs poison imbuement. It's very, very useful. Hello, Orphan Maker Heartseeker works again, or it's done? It's pretty done. The only thing that enabled that build was the tempers. Obviously the bug, but the reason we could take advantage of a bug was because we had tempers that gave like 30% clone cooldown reduction. So we could get our clone down to 10-second cooldown. And yeah, that was... It got pretty broken, basically. Is your Penshot build on Max Row much weaker than Raw? No. Penshot might be stronger than this build that you're watching. Or it might be very similar. Like this build might be able to do like 135, Penshot maybe 133. So in terms of power, I mean, not much difference there. But those are just estimates. Why can't I have a normal mythic and a crafted? Yeah, so you can only have one crafted mythic. So right now, I crafted this helm, and so it's the only mythic I can have that is crafted. So I have to find the remaining mythics, which is not easy because they do not like to drop, ever. It's kind of hilarious. I'm like so much faster, just never going on my horse at this point. How do you think Twisting Blaze would go in pit pushing with the gear we got so far? I mean, TB can probably do 125 right now, maybe 130 with really good gear. That would be my guess, but it's hard to say. Probably 125 is a safe estimate. Do the CDR and max resource rolls have to be GA or just a mix till you hit the breakpoint? They don't. I'd say like 75% of them has to be GA or something like that. But for example, look at my Reign of Arrows, 13.77 cooldown. I have like too much cooldown reduction, right? Like this just needs to be 15.1 or something around 15 seconds. And I have a bunch of GAs. So I could go without this GA, for example, personally. But to start off, I would, like, before even considering this build, I would get like 2 rings with GA, or at least 1. I would get GA cooldown on gloves. Either GA cooldown reduction on helm or GA max resource on helm. Like you can at the enchanter, you can get whatever affix your helm doesn't have. And for the amulet, to start off, you just want max resource and cooldown affixes on the amulet to help you hit the breakpoints. I don't have either because I don't need them. And of course, for all the tempers, you see cooldown reduction is temper GA as well. In terms of like maximum resource, if you don't manage to get to 25, you can make up for it with charms. Like here you see you have plus 10 here, plus 13 here. So there's many ways to get to Rome, aka the breakpoints. But it gets a lot easier if you have GAs, let's put it that way. Only item power 900 items can get GA tempers. If you have like 850 gear, they cannot get GA tempers. At least that was the case last season. Yeah, you can show up to the endgame pen shot without Shaco. For sure. Shaco isn't even that much better than just running Cowl. It's not that much difference. Alright, where are we on the map right now? I'm back to looking at my little worm map. So it'll take me a few minutes to get to your question. When the threat meter reaches the max and goes to 0 again, I'll get back to answering any questions you might have. Alright, let's run to this next area. I just have like a reflex to jump on the horse, but I really don't need to. Where are them worms at? You know what I should do? I should turn off damage numbers. I don't know why I haven't done this. I mean, I like seeing what I'm doing. Like dealing what damage I'm dealing, but I feel like at this point the visual clarity will be so much better. Okay, my threat meter's ticking down. Feels like someone's been here. It's like these worms are nowhere to be found. Alright. Do you think it's worth the toughness loss to wear T-bolts for pen shot? I mean, for hardcore, no, but for softcore, yeah. I mean, it's so nice to just solve your energy immediately. And you get more damage too, if you just play it safe a bit. Matthias not playing Flurry? I will play Flurry. Death Trap build as strong as Pen Shot? No, Death Trap is weaker than Pen Shot. But it's faster for tier 100 farming. You can like teleport around at incredible speeds, which is kind of cool. Wait, there's a maiden being spawned. I thought this was solo self-found. Look at this barbarian. Who does he think he is? Intruding my world. How much DPS loss is it to drop Fist of Iron Rose for the Fleur build? And not at all. Much, like one tier maybe, one pit tier. Even if that. And the amount of mobility you gain is worth it for sure. I would not run Iron Rose, I think, unless I was doing bossing or pushing. Just because it's annoying to manage its uptime. But it is certainly nice damage. Yeah, I agree. It would be so nice to turn on dot numbers only. Like this build hits like 1,000 times a second in non-crits. It just, I can't even see the dot underneath. Yeah, exactly. The rain arrows. Poor Mippy gonna be in shambles if Death Trap is not... Yeah, I mean... He does put a lot of eggs in that Death Trap basket, but the thing is, Death Trap is still very good. And if you have perfect gear, you can make it look incredibly good. Like, I'm making this build look good, probably, but it's because I have really good gear. Like, if you don't hit these breakpoints and I have good aspects and affixes, like, doing this in tier 12 would not be as easy. So it's not always the skill or the build's fault, it can be the gear itself that skews perception in one way or another. Oh, I have way too much. Yeah, Flurry should be... I genuinely think Flurry can get close to 130 in pit... yeah, pit clears. I'll get there eventually, hopefully. Alright, not reading chat for a minute while I look for my friends. AKA the worms. Seems like this area is kind of drained. It's the only Helltide that's alive right now. There's like I've gone past like 8 worm spots and getting nothing over here. It's kind of like fishing in real life. Sometimes you don't get anything. All right. Caught a little something. I wonder how many of these like boss materials I have. Surely quite a bit. A few hundred of each. Okay, I think I'm done in this zone. I'm gonna teleport. Let's get out of there. All right. How does the cold version of this compare to the poison you're currently playing? It's hard to say for the top end pushing. I don't know the answer to that. They might be more similar, but for like killing bosses, and basically the cold version has so much. It's the issue with every cold build. There's so much conditional damage. So like unless you're hitting a staggered or frozen target, all the rogue cold builds feel weak because there's so many of our multipliers that only apply to. Ooh, this is a very, for those of you, if I could trade, I would give this amulet to someone who wants to play Rain of Arrows, but I guess I'll just have to keep it for myself. I don't necessarily need any more cooldown reduction, but I could, if I equip something like this, my Shadow Step cooldown, I would be able to Shadow Step faster, basically, and that could be the play. Rogue is the best class this season. Probably not for pushing, but in terms of class balance, there's no competition, I think. Like we have like 10 builds in A tier. So this is exactly what you're looking for if you want to play Rain of Arrows. Just random items with GA cooldown reduction, and then you can craft at the cube to solve the rest. So look out for items like that. Helm, jewelry, and gloves. Those are the slots that can roll cooldown reduction. Mythic Banished Lord's Talisman. That sounds kind of cool. I have a feeling, surely, like there should be some build that can take advantage of that. Okay, we're gonna abandon the big chest in hordes, and we're gonna go for this one. Chaos waves appear more frequently. I feel like that would be valuable. Alright, war plan. What in the world do we want to pick here? I think I'm gonna try to roll for something interesting. I don't need Obdusite. I'm down to do some escalation dungeons. They're very rewarding. Couple pits, some dungeons. That's a good war plan right there. Alright, let's see how fast we can do a 110. Can I see your bow, please? After this pit, I'll show you everything you want to see. Best push class might be Spiritborn or Necro or Barbarian. I'm not sure. Or maybe it is Rogue. I'm basing it off of what the leaderboard is saying right now in game. Is this good enough for you? Tier 110 in how long? 90 seconds? We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! Exactly 90 seconds. Poison variant with for Pencha with Shadow Shot for speed. Yeah, that is a comfy way to do it. All right, do I even have a oh. I don't actually have any escalation Nightmare Dungeon sigils. For those of you who don't know, if you end up in your war plan with an escalation like objective and you don't have any keys, you can combine 5 of any Nightmare Dungeon keys at the cube, like this. And transmute them together. These 5 keys, boom, becomes an escalation sigil. And now I can pop the sigil and do my escalation objective. Most important is no cooldown on this build. Yeah, the point of the build is to be able to spam rain of arrows like this. Like I can just hold down and spam it, and I achieve that by having a bunch of cooldown reduction combined with a bunch of maximum resource, because preparation reduces ultimate cooldown per energy spent. So the more energy we can spend with Beastfall boots every time we cast Rain of Arrows, the more the cooldown will be reduced. Oh, endless gates. This dungeon is very slow, but we're gonna try to do it as fast as it can be done. You start Rogue, what would be better, Penshot Heartseeker after 70? I mean, both of those are very good choices. You can't go wrong, to be honest. I personally am a fan of poison builds early on because it can kill bosses and things without much effort. But Heartseeker looks like a lot of fun. Especially if you get your hands on like a Shard of Rathiel and like a Godslayer Crown. I feel like, or an Etna's. Like there's a lot of items that can make Heartseeker really shine. So if you get some of these like early uniques, Heartseeker might be the play. Okay, I don't know why I just started clearing everything. Just sea monsters? I want to kill them. Death Trap the best build for Rogue? I would not say so, no. As of this moment, I'd say this is the best build, but that being said, it is extremely hard to gear for, so I wouldn't recommend this build to like if my nephew who's 8 years old wanted to play Rogue, I would not tell him to play this build, even though it's technically can achieve the fastest or whatever, simply because of how hard it is to gear for. The overall tier list on Max Roll, I am a big fan of that tier list because it takes into account way more than just power, like how easy it is to gear for, how tanky is it. Wait, where am I? I think I need to go in here. Oh. So, builds like Dance of Knives and Penshot gain a lot of stonks on the overall tier list because the requirements are much lower and it comes online easier and it's overall easier to play. It does drop from Harbinger, correct. Whoa, I never saw this before. It's like I have this new war plan node where I see a bunch of options in my escalation dungeons. So I can like pick the best one. Do I want strong? Probably Emerald Reserve for sure. These are insane. The like gem fragments, you no longer need to do Seer's Reach and kill the scorpion. Do some of these and you got grand gems for days. Let's see how much is in each chest. Here's our first chest. 200,000 emerald fragments. Wait, maybe I missed some chests over there. I don't. Emeralds are so valuable for me because I use them not only for dot in my weapons. Oh, actually, there's an objective in the seasonal questline to do these Nightmare Dungeon events. I think it's like you have to do like 50 of these events or something. Druid is by far top on leaderboard with a 35. Yeah, there you go. So a lot of the other classes have amazing pushing builds. You missed the immune bubble? Yeah, they've gotten a lot of feedback on like I'm assuming it's a bug that the like completing a pit or a dungeon doesn't give you like the immune bubble. So maybe in a hotfix they will bring it back, or otherwise just next season it'll be back. Legendary seal, maybe good. Nope, maybe bad. I have like 2 seals with 6 slots. I feel like I've been unlucky. Maximilian, I missed your question earlier. Do I have a build guide for Roa? No, not yet. But I'm gonna like stream for another hour or 2, and then I'll make the guide for this build. You started watch, the pen shot with poison would be a good start after Ferd. Yeah, I'd say poison is a good place to start. You don't like have to play ballista. You can play trick shot or shadow shot on pen shot poison, but it can be hard to maintain your energy. If you find Tybalt's Will, or you can craft Tybalt's Will at the cube, you turn all white pants into, like, you turn them into uniques at the cube, and you can get Tybalt's Will. Or if you can't find many white pants, you just take blue pants. You can gamble blue pants, and then you remove affixes at the cube, and they turn into white pants. So then you can get yourself Tybalt's Will, and it solves energy for any build. That helped me early on. Otherwise you have to sometimes use a resource aspect, or make sure you have a Mot rune for, and use Inner Sight. The overflow from Dark Shroud is very handy to solve the energy as well. Alright, what do we want here? That one doesn't seem exciting. Not that one either. Forgotten Wisdom sounds okay. Deathtrap still the best this season? I wouldn't say so. I'd say this is better than Deathtrap, considering both of them are pretty hard to put together. But I'm open to being proven otherwise. I'm open to changing my mind around Deathtrap, but the last 24 hours hasn't been pretty for Deathtrap. We thought it would deal like 20 times more damage than it is dealing, so there's that. A 1,000 obols in each chest is kind of crazy. Is it just me? Wait, I missed a prisoner apparently. Where are you at, mister? I will come find you. What an inconvenient layout. Good thing I can move fast, but man. Wait, what? The amount of dead ends in this particular dungeon is... You're not following Dioxides? No, I made my own Rain of Arrows. And Dioxide's guide is cold, this is poison. But there's only so many ways to build Rain of Arrows, because like some pieces are pretty fixed, like a lot of the affixes to hit the breakpoints. But with that said, you can make a variant where you have 300 energy, and you go for 20 seconds cooldown. I think a 300 energy version with mythic gear could, like a cold version like that, could be better than poison for pushing. Build link, please. I don't yet have a build link. You can use the Rain of Arrows guide on max roll to get an idea of the affixes you need, but I have a setup that is not in anyone's planner at the moment. After the stream, I'm gonna make a video guide and a planner with everything. So for now, if you want to eventually play this, just keep a lookout for GA cooldown gear and GA resource gear. You should be good. Wait, there's a mythic something there? It looked like something purple, I just don't know what it was. Alright. My shadow step is 3.27, I think. 3.26 even. You've been running cold TBs really solid? That's awesome. I have yet to play that myself. I made the planner or the guide for it without knowing exactly how strong it would be. I realized I can sell things at the Obol shop. So whenever I mark my legendary seals, just go here. Very convenient. Alright, we have 15,000 Obols. What would I spend it on? I guess my rings. Would be nice to have more rings. I mean, they're good rings, but I haven't seen a single, like, Goblin Nightmare Dungeon Sigil. Build link, Morgoth? I don't yet have a build link for this. It's freshly off the shelf, invented, and no guide yet. But in the next 24 hours, I'll probably in the next 10 hours, or maybe more realistically, like next 5 hours, I will publish a video guide on my YouTube channel that will link the planner to this build. But it is not yet made. What's the first mythic I should be trying to make for that build? I mean, damage-wise, Etna's dagger. And Etna's is used in almost every rogue build. So getting a mythic Etna's I think is really nice. But it can be hard to like target craft that. I personally crafted Harlequin Crests at the... I got lucky at the blacksmith. You just put in like 2 sparks and 50 million gold, and you get a random iconic mythic. But yeah, I would say probably Etna's. You're not ready. Why are you not ready? Where does this teleport take me? You need time to charge? You need more time? What are you charging? Your phone? Hey Matthias, which build you think will be the best overall for Rogue? I mean... overall, maybe... Dance of Knives or Pen Shot. And that's... I say that because of their... they don't have any hard breakpoints to hit. But they can still do tier 130. In terms of if gearing wasn't an issue, I'd say this build. I think Dragon. Dragon was the first Mephisto kill, Ava was second, and I was third. I started Mephisto attempts 1 hour before Dragon finished. So if I just actually did good and didn't die for 3 hours straight, I would have gotten first, but I wasn't good enough at the game. So I came third. They both played Dance on Ice and I was Pen Shot. Seemed like Dance on Ice was definitely better. It's just like staggered Mephisto very fast. So they like didn't have to do as many mechanics either. I mean, maybe I should do this Sapphire Reserve. Alpha, yeah, I'm using Sightless. Quick gear check. We got Crushing, Beastful, Debilitating Toxins, Alchemical Advantage with GA cooldown, GA Resource, Shaco with GA cooldown, but you can use Cowl or any defensive helm instead. We have Conceited on the amulet right now. Can definitely roll max resource and cooldown to help here. GA cooldown, GA cooldown with Aftermath. You want a very high roll Aftermath ideally, otherwise you gotta put Aftermath on the amulet. And Malice here, Etna Stagger, Charms. Random Seal, you don't need a Mythic. This is just the only 6 charm slot thing I have. It's really bad. Looking to replace it. I got Cowl as a charm. Sightless set. And I just have a random charm just because it has marksman skills on it. Oh, Goblin? How is Infernal Horse this season? Really good. I mean, the game mode itself hasn't changed, but in terms of rewards, I feel like I get a lot from doing Infernal Hordes. Especially the extra chest you can get that gives talismans. Like if you're wanting to upgrade your charms and your seals, spamming Infernal Hordes I feel like is the play. Even just doing like six wave hordes and opening the seal chest. Maybe that's what I should do actually. I'm like listening to my own advice. I'm like, that's actually really good advice. I should do that. I have yet to do that myself. And a big upgrade for me would be a better seal and some better charms. It's like some of the most accessible upgrades for me right now. Lowest hanging fruit. Lair keys. Yeah, rare lair keys. I'm assuming I get like higher, like greater lair keys in this one. Curious to see what ends up dropping. I killed Astaroth earlier today and he dropped a mythic, so hoping we'll see that.
Step up to my anvil.
300% Fist of Fate, not bad. I wouldn't mind a mythic Fist of Fate. That would be good for this build. Alright, we're doing pits, 2 pits in a row. I really want to, like, get close to a minute clear. I feel like there's, like, a cadence to how often I should shadow step. Because, like, I end up, like, spamming too much rain of arrows.
Curse this place. I'm being followed. I need more time.
Not the best map here. If you have, like, an open map or, like, a tunnel, that would be helpful. Too many potential spots for the monsters to hide in that one. Ended up skipping a couple of elites. This is, like, a really good map. Like, perfect width. Good density.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, like, this map, it's by itself, like, saved the run.
More time. I'm not ready.
Sub 80 seconds? Definitely
I need more time.
pretty consistent. I mean, do I try to upgrade my glyphs at 4%? That seems...
I need more time.
If I play like Flurry, will I need any of these other glyphs? I don't think so. There's like nothing I want. Headhunter and this one maybe. Worth to put life on hit on Flurry, build, I'm killing myself almost. Yeah, Grey Hair, totally. I mean, you can run...
I need more time.
If you don't have... Yeah, I'm assuming you have Siphoning Strikes on your boots already. And if that's not enough, then yeah, some life on hit might be helpful.
I'm not ready. I need more time. Curse this place. I'm being followed.
You can get yourself a Transfigured Undying on your amulet. Get some Fortify somewhere. Or Mending Obscurity might even be better. You could try putting Mending Obscurity. Because I haven't played Flurry a lot, I haven't really tested the best way to regen.
I need more time.
I wonder if picking up these orbs, like slowing down to pick up the orb progression would like speed up
I'm not ready.
my clear. Probably would.
I need more time.
In your guide, pit push on Flurry with cold. It's right, like correct. I mean, it's as right as I would by my best guess. But for pushing, there's usually a lot of optimizations to be done that is only based on experience, and I haven't pushed with Flurry myself, so when I do that, I would probably learn a lot and maybe make some changes. You mean not poison? Flurry cannot take advantage of poison, unfortunately. Flurry is a cold build. I kind of want to do some hordes. We have one horde here, two hordes. Perfect. And let's see, we'll just do a 6-wave horde and go for the talisman chests and see if the strat works. Is pen shot stronger than Denso Knives, or do they deal the same damage? They deal very similar damage, Painix. So it comes down to personal preference. I'd say pen shot maybe has slightly better AoE, but Denso Knives has slightly better single target. But overall very similar. Is Penshot's... okay, sorry, I read your message twice. Penshot's still good this season? Yeah. Might be the best build. I played the first 24 hours, I played nothing but Penshot and killed tier 12 Mephisto and everything, but then I swapped over to Rain of Arrows and I didn't really maximize Penshot before that, so I don't really know its ceiling. I was hoping to get a better idea from players in the leaderboard. We haven't actually checked... We'll check the updated leaderboard to see if anyone can reveal any juicy details for the rest of us. There's no update in the top 5. What is this guy playing here? Dance of Knives. He has 2 mythics. I feel like Rain of Arrows has always been such a nice Infernal Hordes build. Because you never know where the monsters are going to spawn. But Rain of Arrows just kind of covers the screen anyway. So it doesn't really matter. You don't need to aim. You have infinite range, a lot of mobility. It's just a comfy Infernal Hordes build. Not even the falling swords can touch me, right? They get my barrier barely. As long as you dash Shadow Step, HP won't be a problem with Flurry. I don't see how the two are connected, but I guess take your word for it. This is a really good chaos way for me. These bosses die pretty quick. 2 Chaos Waves in a row? Is it Christmas? Didn't really like Death Trap. Fair enough. Maybe you'll like Dance of Knives then, because it's, I'd say, the furthest, though the more contrast from Death Trap. A lot of the core builds, or even this Rain of Arrows, like, playstyle wise, they become pretty similar. Like, you hold down your main's damage skill, and then you dash and shadow step around. And you click the other skills intermittently, and that's kind of, a lot of builds have similar button pressing. I would really love like the new mythic seal, but I haven't heard of anyone who found it. Like the one that allows you to equip 3 unique charms. I would love to try that. What's up? Do you have a guide for this build? Not yet. I'm gonna finish the stream in like an hour or so, and then grab dinner, and then I'll record a video and make a planner for this build. So if you subscribe to my YouTube in the next 5 hours, there should be a new video on the channel with all the details. I'm gonna make 3 variants of the build, one easy to put together, and one speed farming, and one pushing. So stay tuned. For now, all you get is this live gameplay. Basically, you just need a bunch of cooldown and a bunch of max resource. And a lot of charms with marksman skills on them. You got it at tier 6 from a journey, Cash? That's awesome. You're the first person I've heard who has that. I feel like that actually might be really useful for a few builds, but it requires some testing for sure to compare. The sets are hard to calculate their impact in my opinion, because it seems like it's like Sightless has the clone that you get, but like how impactful is the clone? I don't really know. It's hard to put a number on it, so for a lot of these things you have to like test and compare. So if I could just equip that mythic seal, I could do 2 runs and get a pretty good idea of what's best. But first we have to find it. Alright, time to open my favorite chest. That's a lot of good stuff. I like what I see. Hopefully some of those are 6 charm slot seals. 5, 5, 5. What about these ones? No, nothing good. I mean, the good thing about this is like by salvaging all of these charms, I'm gonna get a lot of like material to do more set rolling. Probably should have put a note on my screen a lot earlier, but
It is done.
Nightmare Dungeon. I'm gonna need to have a really long OBOL session. Over 20,000 now. Hey, Hitman Shop, thank you for the sub. It's very kind and generous of you. It's not every day I have the pleasure of being in the presence of such generous human beings.
Need more time.
Definitely don't feel the need to give me anything. For me, it's a gift to have some people to interact with while I cast my little skills and make some planners. It would be a whole lot more boring to make guides if there were no players to use them. So just by being here, interacting, asking questions, using the guides, I get a lot of value just from that.
Need more time.
Another thing that makes these like shadow stepping, like death trap and rain of arrow builds like tanky is that every shadow step taunts. Like every time I hop into a room, all the enemies get CC'd and taunted. So it just feels kind of safe.
Need more time. Need more time.
Like mobility and crowd control are very like underrated survivability tools. How much is in this? 250. Yeah, the escalation sigils
Need more time.
are like 4x the impact. So like the effects on the sigils themselves at regular Nightmare Dungeon, it really doesn't matter. Like it's not worth grabbing all these chests and going for these things. If it's a regular Nightmare Dungeon, just like run to the finish. And when it's escalation, then that's where you go ham on all the chests. Echoing haters good rewards? I don't know. Can't think of any other way to thank you for your efforts and guides. Thank you, Hit Much Up. That's awesome. Only thing I don't like too much about Penshot or mine anyways is to have to be aware. Aware. That's why Barb is so popular. No awareness needed.
Need more time.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things, especially early on, that can kill you as you climb the torment tiers. I feel like I hit like when I had started getting like 1 GA gear. All of a sudden in tier 12, I never feel threatened. Like it was just kind of like a threshold where didn't have to try. All of a sudden, I was just tanky enough. But yeah, definitely a lot of deaths before that. I mean, it also helps when the monsters die in half a second. They don't have a lot of time to do much. Echoing Hatred, I never even did it once in Season 13. I like unlocked it on day one. It's like, oh, I'm gonna save this for a rainy day, and the rainy day just never came, and then I just ended up never doing it. I haven't found it yet in Season 14. Well, I don't think I have. It's like a little mythic thing on the ground. Maybe I have, I just wouldn't know it. Usually it's like a highlight in Temis in the town. I don't think I've seen that icon on my map. So I'm assuming I haven't found it.
Need more time. Wait the challenge. Need more time. Need more time.
This build would be pretty good in Echoing Hatred, so I wouldn't mind unlocking it. What is this? Basically, I just, in these 6-wave hordes, I just need 200 ether and I'm happy. Anything above 200 is just a bonus. Should be guaranteed to get there.
Need more time.
Anyways, what am I here getting with wife aggro? Thanks for the stream. Look forward to your guide. Take it easy. Thank you, Kaio. Appreciate you hanging out. I hope you have a good sleep.
Need more time.
Be well. Until next time.
I'm not ready.
I'm playing Twisting Blades and liking it. Can I stick with it in tier 12 or should I strive to put together Death Trap Arena Mirrors to blast? I'd say you can stick to it. Every rogue build can speed farm tier 12 pretty comfortably. I recommend using the sightless setup. I updated the guide today, like the pushing variant with sightless. I should probably do it for the others, but for now I haven't. It's just so much more damage. If you're interested in that, at least you can stick to Spellbound Steel, the purple set, for a while longer, but eventually I'd say highly recommend using sightless. Okay, I realize I don't actually have to move. I can literally just stand in the center and hit every single one of these.
Need more time.
It's kind of ridiculous. I have infinite range. As if I can see them, I can hit them.
Need more time. Need more time.
This is better than Whirlwind Barb. I mean, depends on what you mean by better. I personally think it's more fun, therefore it's better for me. Whirlwind Barb seems like kind of stupidly good. Like you just like tanky, deals a lot of damage, and you just are super fast. But it ain't for me, that's for sure.
Need more time. I'm not ready. Need more time.
I don't understand some of these chaos waves, like their design. Like do I have to collect these spirits and
I'm not ready.
getting a lot of these chaos waves ever since I got the node that said it increases the chance. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like very noticeable. I'm enjoying this new tech of just not moving.
Need more time.
This is so funny. All these fallen are just gonna be pushed around left and right. They don't stand a chance. They can't walk where they want to. It's like they're all drunk or something. I wish my Rain of Arrows actually like knocked the enemies down and didn't just kind of push them around. It makes it harder to like group things together.
I'm not ready.
Hello, is it correct to farm the greater layer keys to be able to farm the boss that gives you 20 million fragments? Yeah, like what are they called? Like if you use the greater layer keys and the normal layer keys, these can when you finish one of the bosses, they spawn Varshan, or no, Belial, I mean, the little bonus boss, and the Belial can drop the superior layer keys. And the superior layer keys can be used on the new boss to drop the mythic crafting material. Let's try to do a Bartok. I haven't done him in a while.
I'm not ready.
How's this building as bosses? Very good. Let's do a Belial after this guy.
Need more time.
I suppose this is a boss too. Wow, I am out of space. I'm gonna have to TP home and come back for all these juicy charms. Is there any other way known to farm the fragments? Gem fragments, the best way I've found is Escalation Nightmare Dungeon Sigils. You'll do Rogue as your second character, always liked Raiders, nice. It is definitely not the easiest build to put together, but if you have the gear, it's definitely a lot of fun. That's pretty good. Weapon damage and Dex GA. We like that. We like that a lot. Let's go salvage and then do a Belial. Yeah. Pandemonium fragments. Yeah, they drop from the new boss. I'm pretty sure. Like this material you're talking about. If you go to the queue, click upgrade to mythic. Pandemonium fragments. Yeah, this stuff drops from. Like you get one of these every time you kill. Maybe I can go kill her. This new boss. So I had 2 of those fragments, and now I'm gonna go kill the boss, and should have 3 after the kill. No, infinite damage is patched, so there's no infinite damage that we know of. This is a good old classic Rain of Arrows.
I'm not ready.
There's nothing infinite about it. Easy peasy. Pandemonium Fragment +1. We got it. Here we have it. Alright, we got a 2GA amulet. It's not that good. Probably keep it though. Well, that's a good sword. Alright, I promised a Belial kill. I don't think I've even killed Belial this season. Maybe once. You were doing Umber Corpse right now, so it was doing infinite damage last season. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of bugs last season, but they fixed most of them for Rogue. Definitely still have a lot, but... Wow, it's so satisfying when it's like zoomed out like this. Wow, he died fast. I'm actually surprised how fast he died. I wonder if his hitbox is just bigger than normal bosses. Okay, we want Harbinger probably. I mean, I can't carry anymore. Five? Like, it's shocking how many legendary seals I've found and how few of them have had 6 charm slots. Right, maybe we can try craft some of these.
That can't be salvaged.
Goodbye. It has been a pleasure.
Let's re-roll some of these. I have 5,000. It's pretty good. So I'm looking for max resources. Good. Maybe I'll keep it for now. Marksman skills and max resource are useful. 3 marksman. Bonus experience or impairment reduction. I mean, that's a wash. I feel like it's... I don't know if it's different weighting, but like getting maximum resource is so rare. I almost never see it. 4 to grenade skills. That is useful on a lot of builds, but not this one. But we'll keep it. Three to marksman and some resistance. That's pretty good. I'll take it. How do I keep poison imbue up on pen shot if I got sightless? I mean, you have to hit targets, so you don't click it if you can't hit anything. So with this duration hitman chop, you put the point in duration and also cooldown. And this poison imbued have a chance to reduce cooldown means you have to like hit things on certain bosses. Sometimes you will have some downtime. What you can do is temper, like solve your energy as good as you can. I mean, you don't really need that much for that build. If you spam concealment, you get a lot of energy from concealment alone. So you don't need a lot of resource tempers, maybe just 1 or 2. But if you can squeeze in like a cooldown reduction on your jewelry tempers, that will help with the poison imbuement uptime as well. Alright. I will never not... I can re-roll this one. Three grenade skills. Like getting... I feel like if I ever played a grenade build, we would have some good stuff. But no cool charms. It's time to make another mule. Hey guys, I'm playing Heartseeker Brogue at the moment. I got a question. You got a Mythic Etna's Lost Dagger, nice, and a Harlequin, but I can only use one of them. What should be better? Let's see. For Heartseeker, I mean, it's a pretty close call. I would probably use Etna's, to be honest, but it's hard to say. I mean, the benefit of using yo, Ava with the raid. I'm gonna quickly finish my train of thought there. Yeah, so the benefit of not using Harlequin Crest, you can use the Legendary Helm, and you can be way tankier. So plus one aspect is gonna be huge. And thank you, Ava, again for the raid. Bark. The bark meta is real. Charms. I am currently rank 1 on the leaderboard, which is exciting, playing Poison Rain of Arrows. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy. I'm gonna just drop some items on this mule, and then I'm gonna showcase it to you. Hope you had a good stream, Ava, and hope you have a good night. I'm assuming you're heading to bed, where all the dreams come true. All right, let's put. I have like 100 charms. Okay, this is illegal. What would I do without the mules? Alright, that works. I'm not bedged yet. Got update guides, make some disclaimers. Yeah, there's a bit of that. What's the, like, I think like Death Trap has received some surprises. In general, Spellbound Steel, which is like all of our poison builds, some surprises. It's a lot of things to put notes for. The Tower 120 with your farming setup on Star Charge stock, which is surprising. Nice. Not bad at all. All right, what are we up to? Curious Undercity. Let's do this then. Greater Rider Cube materials or Ancestral Legendary Armaments. Maybe I'll save these and try to craft them in the cube. We'll pop this one. Tuning prisms. They will probably come in handy. Let's try to get those. Alright. Rain of Arrows, poison time. Almost infinite Shadow Step. We can do Pit 130. We're tanky. I mean, I transfigured away 2 life rolls, so I'm actually not super tanky, but the setup should be tanky when you play it properly. And there are probably a lot of optimizations to make, because I made this build today, and usually day 1 or day 2 of a build, even though it seems like it's all optimal, 90% of cases it is not optimal. So I definitely have some question marks and some testing to be done. Maybe Ava himself can save me from making mistakes. Or maybe I can learn, you know, it's like instead of Ava giving me the fish, maybe he can teach me how to fish. And I can learn how to test some things myself. I think for example, I want to test Word of Khan. I think I can figure out how to test that on a like level 1 character or something, or like with the if I take off my gear, should be doable. Because it's like a distant damage, so if I just walk close to the training dummy, surely I get the answer I'm looking for. So this build has a lot of breakpoints. This is not, you can't just watch the gameplay and be like, oh, this looks fun, I should do that. You can put it on your to-do list as a chase build as a target, as a goal for your season, for sure. But I mean, it took me probably like 10-20 hours to put this together. So, but you can't just level up to 70 and expect to start this build. There's 3 similar to Death Trap. There's some big breakpoints. Cooldown and maximum resource, and restoring enough resource. So, quick showing off the gear. We have maximum resource on our boots. We have cooldown on our gloves. Maximum resource on our chest. This crazy Harlequin crest with GA cooldown reduction, and we enchanted onto it maximum resource. Insane helm, actually. Our amulet is pretty bad, but it's good enough for now. We have GA cooldown rings, both of them, and a 7.5 aftermath. If you don't have as good of an aftermath, you want to put an aftermath on your amulet. Ethnos, of course, and Malice. I transfigured cooldown on my Ethnos, but I don't actually need it. You want your rain of arrows below 15 seconds. I have 13.7, so I didn't need that roll. I'm using Sightless set. I don't need this mythic seal. It's just the only seal I've gotten with 6 slots for some reason. I've been extremely unlucky with the seals. Maybe I just need to get better at the game. That's pretty much the build. Cowl as the unique charm. Hey Shadow, 84. My war plan is telling me to do yet another one of these. I wonder what I got from that chest. I don't really need anything. Like, I don't need runes, but I guess there is a way to craft it's like semi-targeted mythic uniques with runes, so maybe might as well collect it. Seals, I've gotten all my 6 seals by 3 to wanting 5 seals. Okay, that's a good idea, except I'm a solo self-found and gold is a bit scarce, so that's like 100 million gold gamble, but could be worth it. I think the strat is to just do Infernal Hordes for me. It's drop me like 4 to 5 legendary seals each Infernal Horde I do. So anecdotally it procs a lot. Okay. Maybe I'll try it once. Give you all the credit if it works. Put a picture up of your face on my bedroom wall. With your permission. Poison damage multiplier is better than all damage, right? Whatever's the higher number. They're both in the exact same bucket. So if one is 20% and one is 25, pick the one that's 25. And I didn't learn this until like weeks into last season. But for example, on your weapons, all damage and poison damage rolls in the exact same range, like 6 to 10%, like this one says. And the same for rings as well. So all these 5 slots roll all damage and elemental damage on the exact same rolls. So it doesn't matter which one you go for. But when it comes to amulet and gloves, it does matter. Because like here you see I have all damage on my gloves. This would have rolled up to I think 28% if it was poison damage. So on gloves and amulet you want the element that you're playing with. So all damage is only bad or worse on amulet and gloves. Otherwise all damage is good. Can you show the skill tree also? We have nothing, basic core, we have mobility skills, dark shroud, concealment, poison imbuement, and the rest in Roa. And for Roa we're using crashing waves variant with cast speed and cooldown. And the what's it called? The Paragon is like any poison build pretty much. Except we're prioritizing Dance Macabre a bit more because it has mobility cooldown reduction on it, so I can shadow step this fast. Do you one-shot Mephisto with this? Rainer's look in so insane to attack poison. Yeah, I mean, phase 3 of Mephisto dies in like 5 seconds. But phase 1 and phase 2 takes like a minute. I did it earlier on the stream. If I found a key for Mephisto, I would go do it. Alright, I hope Tyrael can give me some Infernal Hordes war plans. Just goes, it says, I mean, I just got a dot and poison damage GA gloves. I mean, that's amazing. That's as good as it gets. That would sell for a lot of gold if it was Trade League. Or like not SSF. Alright. So we're looking for Infernal Hordes. I don't see a single one. So we'll re-roll that. Here's a horde. There's a horde over there. I mean, I guess grand amount of experience down here. I guess I could do this. That seems like it would be a wise move. Doing a guide for this? Yeah. So in the top left corner of this screen, you can see that I don't have a planner out just yet. The build is new, and I haven't made it yet. But I will after the stream in the next hour or two. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or yeah, just stick around my future streams. You'll be able to get the link to it and everything. I'm gonna make different versions, like the easiest possible variant to put together. It shouldn't be that hard, I think. Like I don't even think you need GA. Like I think you can do a non-GA version to play. It might be a little bit clunkier, but I think you can definitely get it going quite early. And I'll make an endgame farming, the variant I'm playing, and then the final variant will be a pushing variant. Can you show the normal and crit damage right now? Like the numbers, you mean? I turned them off because Rain of Arrows hits so many times, so the screen's just covered in numbers. It's hard to see anything. But for pushing and bossing, it gets a little easier to see things. I can do a Mephisto showcase after this horde and turn on the numbers for you. I've seen like 20 to 30 trillion ticks in pushing on regular fights. Average is like 5 to 10 trillion probably. But on these monsters that die really quick, probably my dots would be like 500 billion, because they only get hit once and then they die. This is not updated on Maxroll, right? Correct. This build, like the Rain of Arrows build on Maxroll is a cold variant. I don't think anyone has put that together yet. I played it for like 30 minutes with cold. I will probably go back to cold tomorrow. Maybe I'll try some cold Rain of Arrows. Stay tuned. But I found that poison was better, like first impression wise. But the main reason for that was because like Azurath and Pelgane and all these cold the uniques that cold builds rely on, they don't seem to work as consistently as I would like them to. This build, for example, has other CCs and you have a clone, that maybe messes it up. I think maybe if I find the new mythic seal, the cold rain of arrows would be better, because then I lose my sightless clone, and that I think that guy is messing up my crowd controls. So that could be something to look out for. Your DT hit only 400 billion with almost min-max gear. Interesting. That's not as much as we would have expected. I mean, definitely good enough for T12, but sounds like that will fall off eventually. Like that butcher right there, I was probably ticking for 10 to 20 trill. He's a very tanky boy. Alright, come on, give me some goblins. I feel like the last 10 chaos waves that we've had there's been no goblins. I guess not this time either. Maybe it is 10% chance to get that. Seems about right. They're dancing. I'm making them dance. Boogieing back and forth. Involuntarily, I'm forcing them to dance with me. It's just nice to not die to these falling swords. It's just like one less thing to worry about. You know, sometimes with like RNG, you're not supposed to call it out because it's like you're jinxing it. But I've been making zero comments about my seal luck in these hordes. Dropped hundreds of seals. Not a single one has been 6 slot. So maybe now that I call it out, the game will feel a little bad for me and reward me for my patience. Well, we're about to find out. All right. 4 legendary seals. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. All right, I guess just impossible. Stream lagged when you talked about guide. You said yes. I mean, yes. In terms of me making a guide for this, it will happen. I'm gonna head off for dinner not too long from now, and then after I eat, I'll make some juicy guides, maybe a little video, a smooth optimized planner. Oh, we have a lot of ovals. It scares me. I don't feel like doing Hell Tides. Maybe I'll just turn on damage numbers, do a little sneaky Mephisto. What are the cold build uniques that are bugged? Azurath and Signet of Pelgain, the ring. They work, but inconsistently, and it like you need to play around it. Like if you CC, if the attack that you CC the or stagger the boss with is not cold imbuement, then Azurath doesn't work, and yeah, it's not great. Oh no, not the scary phase. Alright, third phase is my favorite with this build. Blink and you'll miss it. He's dead. 50 trillion? See the dots in there? Legal damage, indeed. I don't have one of these, right? No. I guess I don't really have a good amulet, so maybe I should gamble some amulets.
Oh, sorry. Try again. Nice. Next one will be even better. They can't all be winners, can they?
GA vulnerable damage is not bad.
Terrible. Can't stop there. Come on, one more.
I guess there's also a chance that Word of a Khan might be the play. And if that's the case, maybe I'll save the rest of my obols. Don't want to overspend here. All right. I think we Flurry with the if you just like spec out of all the conditional damage should be able to kill tier 12. Mephisto. Shouldn't be too bad with decent gear, but Mephisto at some point is less about damage and more about surviving. The good thing about Flurry should be like maybe you can just stagger Mephisto and then proc Azurath and just kill him in one stagger. That might be the play. So yeah, these like lair bosses, like were more like 3 to 5 trillion ticks. It's kind of insane. I have 185 lair keys, and this is solo self-found, so I'm gonna have to like kill. That's a lot of bosses. I suppose there is that war plan node where you get like multiple chests.
Need more time.
I don't really have a good penguin ring like this one. This is actually pretty good. That's funny. But it would be nice to see a mythic drop. No, your DT items won't go to waste. Yeah, like if you're collecting cooldown gear, I would go for Rain of Arrows over Death Trap. Alright, well, I think the desire for me to make this guide is pretty high, so I'm gonna call it for the stream and go make this video and go make the guide for this Rain of Arrows build. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me as we conquer the... before we head off, let's see if we're still rank 1. Dragon is close. He could probably do 127 if he wanted to, but other than that, there's been no change. Top 5 has remained the same for the last like 5 hours, so Rain of Arrows seem to be up there. I mean, top 3 for sure, but who knows? There's probably people that they haven't even gone into the tower yet. They're still collecting their gear, so we'll find out over the next couple days. All right, let's see. I'm gonna send you guys over to Panda, if you're on Twitch, and my fellow YouTube viewers. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next stream on the next video. Appreciate you guys. I think Panda is probably playing some Sork, maybe some Druid, who knows. Yeah. Peace.